Imagine walking into any room, any conversation, any conflict, and having the ability to influence outcomes without anyone realizing why. The world calls it luck, but in truth, it is the mastery of one secret trait, an invisible advantage that the untrained eye cannot perceive. By the end of this lesson, you will know exactly what this trait is, how to cultivate it, and how to wield it to gain power quietly, efficiently, and ruthlessly. Power is not for the naive or the impulsive. It is a silent force, unseen and often unappreciated, yet it determines who rises and who falls. Today, we uncover a hidden trait so subtle, so profound, that those who possess it gain an unfair edge in every battle, every negotiation, every human encounter. This is not theory, it is the timeless wisdom of Niccolo Machiavelli. When we speak of power, most minds immediately conjure images of rapid action, sudden conquest, or swift victories. They imagine the one who strikes first, who shouts the loudest, who moves with reckless speed. Yet, Machiavelli teaches us a far more subtle and deadly truth. True power is not in haste. It lies in patience, in the silent, calculated stillness of one who watches while others act blindly. Strategic patience is the hidden engine of influence, the silent hand that guides outcomes before anyone even recognizes its presence. Consider the battlefield, the literal and metaphorical arenas of human conflict. Those who rush headlong into confrontation without thought are often defeated, not because they lack strength, but because they lack timing. Patience allows a leader to observe the movements of friends and foes alike, to discern intentions hidden beneath words and gestures. It grants one the ability to anticipate, to wait for the moment when action is not only necessary, but inevitable. In patience, one finds power not merely in strength, but in inevitability. Machiavelli warns that impulsive action is the refuge of the weak. The impatient seek immediate gratification. They desire recognition, or they act to soothe a wounded pride. Yet the wise understand that the world moves slowly, and in its slowness, it reveals its secrets. To wait, to calculate, to endure the frustrations of inactivity is not weakness, it is mastery. The individual who exercises strategic patience sees opportunities that the hasty cannot perceive. They understand the rhythms of human behavior, the cycles of ambition, fear, and desire. They learn when to speak, when to remain silent, and when to act so decisively that the world cannot recover from their move. This principle extends beyond mere confrontation. In politics, in business, in any contest of influence, those who act too quickly expose themselves to risk. They reveal their strategies before the time is right, they squander resources prematurely, and they alert adversaries to intentions that might otherwise have remained hidden. In contrast, the patient actor accumulates information, observes alliances forming and dissolving, and waits for the precise alignment of circumstances that guarantees success. The world is full of those who act too soon. Few cultivate the discipline to act at the perfect moment, and it is this discipline that separates the powerful from the powerless. Machiavelli himself offers examples drawn from the annals of history. Consider the rulers who triumphed not through the force of their armies alone, but through the timing of their strikes. A prince who moves too quickly risks rebellion, while one who waits can exploit the divisions and mistakes of his adversaries. A city-state that seizes upon the errors of another at the precise moment can conquer with minimal bloodshed, achieving results far greater than brute strength alone could accomplish. Strategic patience, therefore, is a weapon more formidable than any sword or army, for it wields inevitability as its shield. It is essential to understand that strategic patience is not passivity. It is not the idle waiting of those who fear action. It is an active, disciplined form of observation, a constant engagement with the world that allows one to see beyond the superficial chaos of events. The patient observer reads the subtleties of human behavior, notes the weaknesses of allies and enemies alike, and charts a path that requires minimal resistance. In this way, patience becomes not merely a virtue but a method of conquest, a secret force that shapes reality without drawing attention to itself. Those who master patience often find that others, in their haste, expose themselves. The impulsive reveal their desires, betray their plans, and create opportunities for those who can wait. Strategic patience transforms observation into action and inaction into power. The patient individual knows that every moment is an investment, that every pause has value, and that the timing of a single decisive move can alter the course of history. In essence, the patient wield influence not through constant struggle, but through selective engagement, choosing precisely when to invest their strength for maximum effect. In personal life, this principle holds as well. When negotiating, when dealing with conflict, when navigating the complex webs of social interaction, those who act too quickly reveal vulnerabilities. The one who waits, who listens, who gauges reactions before committing, holds the upper hand. They understand the subtleties of timing, the hidden cues that reveal motives, the patterns of behavior that allow them to steer events toward their desired outcome. Patience, in this sense, becomes a form of invisible control, a way to move through the world undetected while shaping the fates of others with precision. Even in moments of apparent stagnation, the patient mind is at work. It analyzes, it interprets, it waits for the alignment of circumstances. Inaction, guided by strategy, is not weakness, it is preparation. It is the quiet cultivation of advantage, the subtle orchestration of events, the slow but inevitable accumulation of power. Those who lack patience may grow restless, may act rashly, or may fall prey to the impulsive decisions of others. Yet, the disciplined observer turns each delay into an opportunity, each pause into a preparation for triumph. To cultivate this trait requires a ruthless clarity. One must resist the temptation to act for immediate satisfaction, to respond to provocation, to assert oneself before the time is right. One must train the mind to endure uncertainty, to embrace observation, and to value timing above all else. The reward for this discipline is immeasurable, the ability to act decisively when others falter, to strike when victory is guaranteed, and to appear almost prophetic in the accuracy and effect of one's actions. Strategic patience is thus not a passive virtue, it is a weapon, a shield, and the hidden force behind the ascent of every great leader who has ever understood the delicate dance of power. In the theater of power, the eyes see what the mind is permitted to see. Niccolo Machiavelli understood this better than any man who sought influence or dominion over others. True mastery is not merely a question of strength, of skill, or of strategy. It is a question of perception. The world judges what it perceives, and those who control perception control reality itself. To wield this hidden edge is to move through life unseen, yet with influence omnipresent, shaping outcomes before others even comprehend their own involvement. Consider how often humans act based not on truth, but on the impressions they receive. Reputation, appearance, demeanor, all of these can be manipulated to create authority, command respect, and elicit obedience. Machiavelli warned that it is often far more advantageous to appear virtuous than to be virtuous, to appear decisive than to act recklessly, to project strength even when it must be cultivated in silence. In the eyes of observers, perception is truth, and to master it is to gain the hidden power that others cannot touch. The individual who understands the manipulation of perception sees beyond the surface of human behavior. They know that fear can be disguised as respect, that humility can be masked as wisdom, that inaction can be interpreted as calculation rather than weakness. Every gesture, every word, every choice of timing contributes to the image projected. The careful architect of perception is never beholden to the whims of public opinion. Rather, they guide that opinion, sculpting it to suit their purposes. In this way, perception becomes a weapon, one that strikes invisibly yet decisively, altering the judgments of allies and adversaries alike. Let us consider the dynamics of leadership. A ruler who is seen as decisive, courageous, and unyielding commands loyalty even when uncertainty lurks behind closed doors. A strategist who appears omniscient and unshakable shapes the decisions of others without lifting a finger. The careful management of perception allows one to exert influence disproportionate to visible resources. One may lack the largest army, the deepest coffers, or the greatest charisma, yet by cultivating an image of strength and control, one can bend circumstances to one's favor. The secret here is subtlety. Perception must be carefully curated, never forced, and always aligned with the expectations of those observing. Machiavelli teaches that human beings are creatures of appearances. They judge by what they see, they respond to what they perceive, and they rarely probe beyond the surface. The wise individual exploits this natural limitation. By controlling what is visible and carefully obscuring what is not, one shapes the reactions of others. Consider the artful negotiator who presents calm authority while hiding inner calculations, or the leader who projects magnanimity to mask strategic ruthlessness. The result is power exercised indirectly, silently, and irresistibly, as if fate itself bends to the will of one who has mastered perception. This mastery extends to every human interaction, in personal disputes, in business negotiations, in political maneuvering. The one who understands perception gains advantages that remain invisible to the untrained eye. They know how to appear confident when uncertain, composed when challenged, generous when calculating. Their opponents act on what they see, and in doing so, they reveal their weaknesses, expose their plans, and open themselves to influence. To control perception is to write the narrative before others can even begin to tell their own. It is the power to define reality, to guide decisions, and to manipulate outcomes without confrontation. History is replete with examples. Machiavelli himself admired rulers who understood this principle instinctively. A prince who projects strength deters rebellion, not by the threat of force alone, but because the perception of power creates fear and respect simultaneously. A general who inspires awe among troops secures loyalty even in the absence of abundant rewards. The visible cues, the carefully constructed image, the orchestrated appearances, these are the instruments through which influence is wielded. To master perception is to wield a form of authority that is both invisible and unstoppable, for it relies not on coercion but on the judgments of others. Yet, to achieve this mastery requires meticulous attention. One must observe not only one's own image, but also the expectations and prejudices of those one seeks to influence. Perception is a mirror, reflecting not only the qualities one projects, but also the interpretations of those who look upon them. The subtlety lies in creating an image that resonates with desires, fears, and aspirations, so that observers themselves internalize the authority, wisdom, or power one wishes to project. It is a dance of illusion and understanding, a strategy in which the unseen hand guides the perceptions that determine outcomes. The hidden advantage of this trait is profound. While others expend energy on confrontation, debate, or persuasion, the master of perception moves silently, unseen, manipulating the stage upon which human behavior unfolds. Influence becomes effortless because it is indirect. People act in accordance with the narrative one has shaped, believing they act of their own volition, unaware that they are moving along a path carefully laid by one who understands the true power of appearances. This is the essence of the unfair edge, the ability to control results without revealing the mechanism of control. Those who cultivate this trait understand that it requires constant refinement. A single misstep, an unintended signal, a poorly judged action can unravel months or years of carefully constructed perception. Vigilance, self-awareness, and an understanding of human psychology are essential. Machiavelli teaches that one must be both the actor and the director, simultaneously performing the role expected by others while controlling the stage behind the scenes. This duality, being seen but never fully understood, is the hallmark of those who wield influence invisibly and irresistibly. In the pursuit of power, the mind that is ruled by emotion is the mind that falters. Niccolo Machiavelli understood this with unmatched clarity. Those who allow anger, fear, desire, or impatience to dictate their actions surrender the very advantage that could make them unstoppable. Emotional detachment is not coldness for its own sake. It is a deliberate, cultivated state of mind, a tool of strategy that allows one to act with clarity, precision, and effectiveness in a world ruled by chaos and human frailty. To master detachment is to gain an invisible advantage, a hidden edge that few recognize but that can determine the course of events in every domain of life. Observe how most people navigate conflict. They react to insults, to challenges, to threats, as if their worth were directly implicated in every interaction. They are carried by the waves of emotion, lashing out when offended, capitulating when frightened, grasping when tempted. Their movements are predictable, and this predictability is their undoing. The individual who has mastered emotional detachment stands apart. They are not swayed by provocation, nor do they seek revenge for every slight. They observe, they calculate, they wait. In this stillness they see opportunities invisible to the passionate and impulsive. They act not to satisfy immediate impulses, but to secure lasting advantage, and in doing so, they wield a power far greater than any who allow feelings to govern action. Machiavelli often emphasized the necessity of a ruler maintaining composure in all situations. The prince, who is swayed by fear, loses the loyalty of his subjects. The one who allows anger to dictate punishment invites rebellion. The one who is blinded by affection risks betrayal. Emotional discipline is not merely a personal virtue, it is a weapon that protects one from the manipulation and weaknesses of others. By mastering detachment, one gains the ability to respond with precision, to strike at the exact moment when advantage is assured, and to avoid the costly mistakes born of passion or sentiment. The world is filled with those who are undone by emotion, but the detached navigate it as if guided by the inevitability of strategy itself. Consider negotiation, a battlefield of words and subtle influence. Those who allow their feelings to surface often concede more than necessary, reveal weaknesses unintentionally, or give away power in an attempt to appease, retaliate, or impress. The detached negotiator, however, maintains a calm exterior, masking calculations and intentions behind an impenetrable facade. By controlling their own emotional output, they shape the perceptions and expectations of others. Opponents act on assumptions rather than truth, revealing their vulnerabilities while the detached mind turns every interaction into an opportunity. Emotional detachment transforms apparent passivity into the exercise of invisible control. Detachment does not mean disengagement. On the contrary, it demands acute awareness of human behavior. The mind must remain fully alert to the signals, motivations, and weaknesses of others, yet it must interpret them without personal bias or emotional distortion. Fear must be recognized in others, but not mirrored. Anger must be noted, but not echoed. Desire must be observed, but not succumbed to. In this manner, one maintains a clarity of vision, a capacity to perceive opportunity where others perceive chaos. It is the calm in the eye of the storm, the mind untouched by turbulence, moving decisively while the world is distracted by its own passions. The historical examples are abundant. Great leaders, conquerors, and strategists who achieved enduring power did so not solely through courage or intellect, but through their ability to remain unshaken in the face of provocation. They acted with timing perfected by detachment, exploiting the errors of those who were led by emotion. A single moment of calm, a single decision taken without the distortion of personal feeling, can alter the fate of armies, states, or enterprises. The detached individual converts the chaos of human desire into an ordered field in which their moves are unstoppable and the moves of others are predictable. Even in daily life, the value of this trait is evident. Social interactions, business decisions, and personal conflicts are filled with moments where emotion clouds judgment. To act impulsively, to react to provocation, to respond to offense with immediate retaliation is to surrender agency to the very forces one seeks to control. Emotional detachment transforms these situations into opportunities for strategic advantage. By maintaining composure, one gains not only the ability to observe more clearly, but also the freedom to act decisively at the moment of maximum effect. Others may burn themselves out in rage or frustration, yet the detached rise above, operating with an unassailable advantage. Machiavelli also instructs that detachment allows one to manipulate others effectively. When others are swayed by emotion, they are predictable, their patterns of behavior revealing weakness or intention. The detached individual, unburdened by these fluctuations, can exploit them with precision. In this way, emotional mastery is not only defensive, it is aggressively advantageous. It enables one to influence outcomes, to guide events, and to manipulate situations without ever appearing to intervene. Those who are ruled by emotion see only chaos. Those who have mastered detachment see opportunity, timing, and inevitability. Cultivating emotional detachment requires rigorous self-discipline. It demands constant awareness of one's internal reactions and the ability to restrain impulses in favor of rational calculation. It is a state of vigilance over both self and surroundings, an ongoing exercise in the alignment of thought with strategy rather than feeling. The reward is profound, the ability to act when others hesitate, to seize advantage when others falter, and to navigate a world dominated by human passion with clarity, control, and inevitability. Detachment is not merely a shield, it is a weapon, invisible yet potent, enabling one to move through life with the quiet authority of one who is never unprepared, never uncalculated, and never vulnerable to the turbulence of emotion. In the pursuit of power, the greatest advantage is not merely strength, intelligence, or charisma. It is the ability to recognize opportunity and seize it with precision. Niccolo Machiavelli teaches that the world is a constant flux of advantage and misfortune, and those who prosper are those who act at the precise moment when circumstances align with ambition. Calculated opportunism is the hidden trait that allows one to exploit the vulnerabilities, oversights, and weaknesses of others while remaining largely unseen. It is not luck, as the naive believe, but a cultivated skill, a discipline of observation, timing, and decisive action that transforms chance into conquest. Observe the world around you. It is a stage of movement, negotiation, and error. Most individuals are preoccupied with their own agendas, blind to the shifts and cracks in the environment. They are caught in the immediacy of their desires or fears, failing to perceive the subtle openings that could elevate them to advantage. The opportunist, however, trains the mind to see patterns in chaos, to anticipate shifts in alliances, power, and behavior. This vision allows one to act when others hesitate, to strike when hesitation has multiplied the stakes, and to secure outcomes that appear miraculous to the unobservant. Machiavelli understood that timing is as crucial as action itself. An opportunity ignored is a chance lost forever, yet rashness destroys the benefit of even the most favorable circumstances. Calculated opportunism is the discipline of waiting for the precise intersection of preparation and chance. It is the understanding that while others scramble and exhaust themselves in constant motion, the prepared mind lies in readiness, observing, analyzing, and choosing the moment when action will yield maximum reward. In this way, the opportunist becomes a conductor of events, orchestrating outcomes with the invisible hand of foresight and strategy. The principle applies not only in politics or war, but in every realm of human endeavor. In business, the individual who anticipates trends, recognizes weaknesses in competitors, and positions themselves at the moment of advantage, secures outcomes far beyond the capacity of those who react impulsively. In relationships, in negotiations, and in social influence, the opportunist perceives gaps where others see barriers, exploits timing others fail to notice, and acts with a precision that appears almost prophetic. It is the mastery of environment, circumstance, and human behavior combined into a singular, decisive skill. Machiavelli teaches that opportunism is not synonymous with recklessness or indiscriminate action. It is not the grasping at every possible gain or the impulsive exploitation of every minor opening. It is measured, deliberate, and rational. The successful opportunist prepares relentlessly, cultivates awareness, and restrains action until the precise moment when initiative meets inevitability. This patience is not idle, it is active preparation, a mental vigilance that transforms waiting into power. The world is full of those who fail because they act too soon, or too late, or without comprehension of the forces in motion. The opportunist thrives because they act at the moment when circumstances favor their intervention, and thus, victory is not merely achieved but assured. Historical examples abound. Consider leaders who, in the midst of uncertainty, seized upon small errors, divisions, or weaknesses to secure dominance. Their actions appear sudden, but they are preceded by careful observation, patient calculation, and the disciplined recognition of opportunity. Every misstep of a rival, every hesitation of an ally, every shift in public sentiment becomes a potential lever to elevate the prepared individual above the complacent, the impulsive, and the inattentive. In the hands of the opportunist, the flow of events becomes malleable, bending to the calculated influence of one who understands the hidden rhythms of power. This hidden trait is especially potent because it is often invisible to others. The world rewards those who act boldly, yet punishes recklessness. The opportunist's advantage is in appearing unassuming or patient, while the wheels of calculation turn unseen. Others perceive movement only when the decisive moment arrives, by which time the course of events has already been altered. In this way, opportunism confers the dual advantage of surprise and inevitability. No one sees the approach of the blow until it has struck, yet the result seems natural, almost fated, to those caught within it. To cultivate this skill requires discipline, foresight, and courage. The mind must be trained to perceive subtle cues in human behavior, shifts in alliances, and weaknesses in systems. The body must be ready to act decisively when the moment arrives. Most importantly, one must resist the temptation to act prematurely, to seize small gains at the expense of larger, more consequential ones. Calculated opportunism demands a ruthless assessment of timing, a constant awareness of risk, and the capacity to act swiftly when opportunity intersects with preparation. Even in daily life, this principle manifests. Social dynamics, workplace competition, and interpersonal influence all reward those who recognize openings and act with precision. Those who rush often reveal their intentions. Those who delay excessively miss their moment. The individual who has mastered calculated opportunism moves with the certainty of someone who knows that the tides of circumstance are his to command. They cultivate awareness, patience, and judgment simultaneously, and when the moment of action arrives, it is executed with the inevitability of destiny rather than the uncertainty of chance. Opportunism, therefore, is not mere opportunism. It is a calculated, disciplined, and deliberate approach to power. It transforms observation into action, inaction into preparation, and chance into conquest. It rewards those who see the patterns others miss, who act decisively when others hesitate, and who understand that every moment carries within it a potential advantage if only one has the vision, discipline, and courage to seize it. The individual who masters this art navigates the world with a hidden edge, influencing outcomes, shaping events, and attaining success that appears effortless to the untrained eye. Power, influence, and success are rarely the result of brute force alone. They are the product of subtlety, strategy, and mastery over forces both visible and unseen. The hidden trait that grants an unfair edge is not a single act of courage, nor a sudden stroke of luck. It is the careful cultivation of qualities that allow one to see, to wait, to perceive, and to act with precision, while others stumble in haste and passion. Strategic patience teaches us that timing is power. The mastery of perception shows that reality bends to those who shape appearances. Emotional detachment grants clarity and control where others are blinded by feeling, and calculated opportunism allows decisive action when circumstances align with foresight. Together, these traits form a framework of influence that is almost invisible to the untrained eye, yet unstoppable in its effect. Machiavelli understood that the world rewards not the impulsive, the emotional, or the naive, but those who navigate human nature with intellect, discipline, and foresight. By cultivating these hidden traits, one gains an advantage so profound that outcomes seem inevitable. Allies are persuaded without effort, rivals are undermined before they realize it, and success becomes the natural consequence of preparation and perception. The unfair edge is not a gift bestowed by fortune. It is earned through deliberate mastery over oneself, over others, and over the flow of events. Those who recognize this and act accordingly ascend beyond the reach of chance, wielding power quietly, efficiently, and decisively, shaping the world not as it appears, but as they choose it to be.